Where the waters whisper tales of adventure, treachery, and the unquenchable thirst for freedom, there sailed one of history's most enigmatic figures. This is the story of Anne Bonny, a woman whose fiery spirit and fearless heart challenged the very fabric of the 18th century pirate world. Born around 1700 in County Cork, Ireland, Anne's life was marked by scandal from the very beginning. The illegitimate daughter of a servant woman Mary Brennan, and her father, a wealthy lawyer, her family sought a new start in the New World to escape the scandal in Ireland, settling in province of Carolina, present-day South Carolina, after the relationship with her father's wife fell apart because of the affair. Despite her father's efforts to provide a stable life, Anne rebelled against the conservative societal norms of the time. Unfortunately, to compound problems, Anne suffered a great loss when her mother died when she was only 12 years old. And, without her mother, grew into a fierce and independent spirit, defying societal norms at every turn. It wasn't long before her relationship with her father soured after she married James Bonny against her father's wishes, leading to her disinheritance. Her husband, James Bonny, was a sailor and small-time pirate whom Anne married when she was still very young, reportedly as an act of rebellion against her father. She seen James Bonny as her way out. James, however, was interested not so much in, but in Anne's family wealth, and when that was cut off, their relationship strained. Her marriage to James Bonny led to her disinheritance. The pair moved to the Bahamas, where Anne began to take up with the local pirate community and where she met Calico Jack Rackham in particular. It is fair to say that it was in Nassau, in the Bahamas, where Anne's true adventure began. Drawn to the pirate life, Anne soon joined Calico Jack Rackham's crew, disguising herself as a man to fight alongside her fellow pirates. Among them was Mary Red, another female pirate in disguise, with whom Anne formed a close bond, fueling much speculation about her personal life. Their move to Nassau, in the Bahamas, then called the New Providence Island, also known as the Republic of Pirates. It was here that Anne's dissatisfaction with James grew. Her husband had turned to privateering and informed on pirates for Governor Woodes Rogers. Their marriage finally faltered, primarily due to James's betrayal of the pirate community and Anne's growing ambition for adventure and freedom. Calico Jack Rackham, lover and pirate companion. Calico Jack Rackham was a charismatic pirate captain known for his distinctive calico clothing. Anne left James Bonny to join Rackham's crew, and together they embarked on numerous piratical ventures. Rackham and Anne shared a passionate relationship, and she fought alongside him disguised as a man. Their partnership was not only romantic but also marked by significant piracy achievements. Calico Jack is credited with designing the Jolly Roger flag, a symbol now synonymous with piracy. His relationship with Anne Bonny was central to her legend, highlighting a partnership based on mutual respect for each other's audacity and prowess. Enter Mary Red. Mary Red was a pirate like Anne, and the two of them became very close friends. Mary Reed's relationship with Anne Bonny is worth mentioning due to its significance in Anne's life. Disguised as a man, Reed was a member of Rackham's crew, and her reveal as a woman reportedly shocked Anne. Over time, the two women formed a close bond, fighting side by side during battles. Their friendship was characterized by loyalty and bravery, standing out in a male-dominated world. These relationships played significant roles in shaping Anne Bonny's life and legend. From her strained relationship with her father, through her unhappy marriage to James Bonny, to her adventurous and romantically charged partnership with Calico Jack Rackham, Anne's interactions with the men in her life were pivotal to her journey and legacy as one of the most famous female pirates in history. During our research, there was an implication that Anne and Mary may have been more than friends. We could find no solid proof of that being the case. The topic of Anne Bonny's personal relationships, including any potential romantic relationships with women, is largely speculative and not well documented in historical records. Much of what is known about Anne Bonny comes from a book called A General History of the Pirates by Captain Charles Johnson, and while this book provides detailed accounts of her piracy, it does not explicitly address her sexual orientation. However, Anne Bonny's close association with Mary Read, another female pirate who also disguised herself as a man, has been a subject of much speculation and romanticization in popular culture. Being an outsider looking in, we can see why some historians may think the relationship between Anne and Mary may have been more than just friends. Both women were part of Calico Jack Rackham's crew, and their unusual presence among pirates has fueled many rumors and stories. The book mentions their strong bond, but it does not provide concrete evidence of a romantic relationship. It's important to remember that the social norms of the time were vastly different, and the historical record on personal matters like sexual orientation is often incomplete or biased. Historians and authors might interpret the available evidence in various ways, leading to different conclusions about Anne Bonny's personal life. Any claims about her having female lovers are more speculative than definitively supported by historical documentation. In recounting her story, it's crucial to differentiate between historically documented facts and interpretations or embellishments that have been added over time. Anne Bonny's life was marked by significant relationships with men who played crucial roles in her journey from a rebellious young woman to a legendary pirate. The most notable men in her life include her father, William Cormac, her husband, James Bonny, and her pirate companion, Calico Jack Rackham. Anne Bonny and her friend Mary Read became legends, their names feared and revered. Their exploits on the high seas showcased their unparalleled bravery and skill in battle, challenging the might of the British Navy and capturing the imagination of all who heard their tale. Now, you may ask, what did the British Navy have to do with Anne Bonny? The British played a significant role in Anne Bonny's life, particularly through their efforts to suppress piracy in the Caribbean, which directly affected her pirate career. The British actions and policies influenced her life and legend a great deal. British colonial society. Every way she turned, the British, good or bad, was an influence in her life. For example, in her early life, Anne Bonny was born in Ireland, which was under British rule, and later moved to the province of Carolina, another British territory at that time in history. Her early life was shaped by the norms and expectations of British colonial society, which she ultimately rebelled against. The war against piracy. Hunting pirates. By the early 18th century, piracy had become a significant threat to British maritime commerce, prompting the British government to take strong measures against pirates. This included passing the Piracy Act of 1717, which enhanced legal measures against piracy and authorized the use of pirate hunters to capture pirates and bring them to trial. Capture and trial. Anne Bonny's pirate career was directly impacted by these British efforts. In 1720, her ship, captained by Calico Jack Rackham, their luck ran out. They were captured by a British naval sloop commanded by Captain Jonathan Barnett under the commission of the Governor of Jamaica, again, a British colony. What is a British naval sloop, you might ask? A British naval sloop is a type of small warship that was part of the British Royal Navy's fleet, particularly prominent during the 17th to 19th centuries. Sloops were versatile ships, used for various purposes including patrolling, escorting, reconnaissance, and even engaging in combat with enemy vessels. Their size, speed, and maneuverability made them suitable for a wide range of maritime tasks such as convoy protection, anti-piracy patrols, surveying and mapping missions, and communication. They were an essential part of the British Navy's efforts to maintain its global naval dominance, capable of showing the flag in distant colonies, protecting British merchant shipping, and suppressing piracy and smuggling. This capture of Calico Jack's ship and crew was part of the broader British crackdown on piracy in the Caribbean. Trial in Jamaica. Anne Bonny, along with Calico Jack Rackham and Mary Read, was taken to Spanish Town, Jamaica, for trial. The trials were conducted by British colonial authorities, and Anne, like Mary, was tried as a pirate under British law. The trial and subsequent sentencing to hang highlight the British legal system's role in her life. Her trial was a direct consequence of British efforts to eradicate piracy and restore order to their shipping lanes and colonies. Legacy and British cultural imagination. British literature and records. The primary source of information about Anne Bonny is A General History of the Pirates by Captain Charles Johnson, suspected to be a pseudonym for Daniel Defoe, a British publication. This book, and others like it, played a significant role in shaping the legends of pirates, including Anne Bonny, within British and global cultural imagination. The British influence on Anne Bonny's life was thus multifaceted, from her upbringing in British colonial society, through her defiance against the British crackdown on piracy, to her immortalization in British literature. Her story is deeply entwined with the British Empire's history, reflecting the complexities of colonialism, maritime law, and the fight for control over the seas. Back to the trial. When Calico Jack's crew, including Anne and Mary, were caught and tried in Jamaica, it was not uncommon for pirates to be sentenced to hang. Facing execution, Anne's defiance never wavered. Her parting words to Calico Jack, who was hanged, "Had you fought like a man, you need not have been hanged like a dog," echoed through history, a testament to her indomitable spirit. But at the last moment, Anne managed to keep from being hanged. Anne reportedly revealed her gender and pled the belly, meaning that she claimed that she was pregnant and thus couldn't be executed. A stay of execution was seemingly granted, but then Anne disappears from the historical record. There are no records after this period of time that tells us what ultimately happened to Anne or if there was the birth of any child. We do not know if she ever made it out of prison, or if she gave birth, to then be executed after the birth of her child. Was she really pregnant? The records show no indication either way. Some historians suggest a possible pardon or escape. We are not sure how they come to this conclusion, since we were unable to locate any solid documentation of either scenario. So, we just don't know what happened to Anne in the end. I bet you are asking, what about Mary? Mary Read's fate, much like Anne Bonny's, is a story of intrigue and ambiguity. After their capture in 1720, both women were tried and sentenced to hang for piracy. However, like Anne, Mary also claimed to be pregnant at their trial, invoking the plea of belly, a common law provision that allowed pregnant convicts to receive a temporary stay of execution until after the birth of their child. So, like Anne, Mary Read's execution was postponed due to her pregnancy claim, but she never made it to the gallows. Historical records indicate that Mary Read died in prison in 1721, most likely due to the harsh conditions at time. We have no way of knowing for sure. Jamaican prisons at the time were very medieval, which would make survival quite difficult for even the healthiest of people. We also were unable to locate any record of Mary giving birth while in prison, suggesting she may not have been pregnant, or could have died from complications related to her pregnancy before she could be executed. Historical records are unclear as to exactly what happened to Mary, other than it appears she never made it out of prison alive. Did she escape? Was she pardoned? This is information that seems to be as lost to history. As for Anne Bonny became a legend, her name feared and revered. Their exploits on the high seas showcased her unparalleled bravery and skill in battle, challenging the might of the British Navy and capturing the imagination of all who heard their tale. Anne's legacy, however, endures as a symbol of defiance, freedom, and the untold stories of women who dared to carve their own path in history. As the sun sets on the turbulent waters of the Caribbean, so too does our journey through the life of Anne Bonny come to a close. From the shores of Ireland to the bustling ports of the Caribbean, Anne's story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dare to defy the currents of their time. Anne Bonny's legacy is not just a tale of piracy and adventure on the high seas, it's a narrative of rebellion, resilience, and the quest for freedom beyond the confines of society's expectations. Her life, intertwined with legends like Calico Jack Rackham and Mary Read, continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the depths to which the human spirit can soar when driven by the pursuit of something greater. As we part ways with Anne and her world, we're left to ponder the marks left by those who chart their own course, challenging the tides of history. Anne Bonny's legend, preserved through time in tales and records, sails on, a beacon for all who navigate the vast oceans of history and mystery. If you like this video, we ask that you join our Facts Intrigue family by subscribing. We would love to hear in the comments below what topic you would like to see us cover in a new video. Be sure to ring the bell icon to be notified when our next video goes up. Thank you for joining us on this voyage into the past. Until our next adventure into the annals of history, keep the spirit of curiosity alive, and remember, the tales of yesterday are the treasures of tomorrow.